coverage on Brown. And
he's inbounds. He might go. 99 yards.
Flicker action. Tannehill taking a chance towards the end zone, and it is caught. A.J. Brown.
Tannehill will take it all the way. They won't catch him. Goodbye.
What is going on, Titans Nation? Titans Universe here to give you a preview of the Titans and Saints Week 10 matchup. So the New Orleans Saints travel to Nashville to play the Titans in Nissan Stadium. Saints coming off a loss against the Falcons, Titans coming off a win against the Rams. Two teams that are still in the thick of it when it comes to playoffs. The Saints currently fighting for a wildcard spot, the Titans trying to hold on to the number one seed in the AFC. Now the Saints are a weird team. They're playing with a third string QB, but they managed to beat the Bucs 2 weeks ago. They're a team you don't know what you're going to get because they lost to the Falcons last week and they beat the Bucs, so you don't really know what to expect in this game. It's very unpredictable. Saints are managing to get it done through the air, even though they really don't have much talent at wide receiver. The number one pass catcher is Alvin Kamara, the running back. Really missing Michael Thomas. They don't really have any other big name at receiver other than Michael Thomas. Other than that, I don't see anyone. But there might be another sleeper. I just don't watch the Saints that much. I really don't pay attention to them that much. But when I do watch some highlights, Callaway's a receiver that I usually see. He signed Mark Ingram a few weeks ago, and he actually has some good production in his last game, averaging 4 yards a carry. Looks like they're going to give him a little more of the load going into this game. And Alvin Kamara might be put more in receiving. He's still the number one back, but they're going to utilize him like they did when Alvin Kamara was a rookie. He might get a little more better in the receiving game now that Mark Ingram is here. Okay, so let's take a look at the Titans. Titans released cornerback Breon Borders, who's actually had some playing time since Fulton and Farley's been injured. They also released wide receiver Josh Reynolds, who apparently wanted out of Tennessee, so they granted his request. So it looks like Chester Rogers or Marcus Johnson is going to fill that third wide receiver role from now on, which I actually like Marcus Johnson. I think he's a pretty solid number 3. He put in more production when he was in than Reynolds. Take a look at Ryan Tannehill. So in this game, he's going to have to be the focal point of it. Last week he only had 100 yards, but I guess that's kind of how the game molded. The Titans went up big and they kind of went conservative, but I feel like he could have done better in that game even though they were up big. But yeah, I don't see the run game actually working really good in this. The Saints have the number one run game in the league, so I feel like now that Derrick Henry isn't playing and Adrian Peterson is just getting used to this offense, that we're not going to have much production in the run game. So it's going to have to go through Ryan Tannehill for us to win this game. He's going to have to put up some good production, at least 250 yards, a few touchdowns, manage the game, hope the defense can play really good. I don't think he needs to have a terrific game, just enough to do what he's got to do to win, And don't turn the ball over. He's had a pick in 4 straight games. He needs to clean that up. Needs to make it where he's not a hindrance, which he's been turning the ball over. He turns it over early in the game and ends up cleaning it up by the end, and that's how we're actually ended up winning. Is because even though he turns it over, he doesn't turn it over late. He actually is pretty clutch when it comes to late game drives and do what he has to do to actually get us the win. I'm hoping we finally see the duo of A.J. Brown and Julio Jones finally in full go. Julio has not really done much when he's played with us since the Seahawks. Jay has 40 receptions, and then the drop off for the number 2 is significant, like really big. We need to start seeing something from Julio because the past weeks, when the games he does play, he's been obsolete. He hasn't really done anything. Now, I don't know if that's a Ryan Tannehill can't get on the ball type of deal or he just not getting open, but hopefully they can get sorted out. Now let's talk about the big focal point of this game, and that is the defense. The defense last week showed that no matter how good the offensive line is, they can get to the quarterback. Matthew Stafford was the least sacked quarterback in the league, and they got to him 5 times. I expect the defensive line to put pressure on Trevor Siemian. Even though he has been playing somewhat good, he is a backup, and if you put enough pressure on him, he's bound to make a mistake. This defense needs to win the turnover battle. This defense has gotten multiple turnovers in 4 straight games, and I expect them to keep it up. Now, Trevor Siemian was the star of last game, but we all know Harold Landry is the best defender on the defensive line. He's already got 9 sacks this season. He's been the most consistent I want to see him get 10 sacks. Heck, I want to see him surpass Myles Garrett and get the lead in most sacks in the NFL. And now that we actually have a good pass rush, Kevin Byard has been playing like one of the best safeties in the league. He can actually do his job. Last year, the secondary could not cover because the pass rush just could not get to nobody, and they had to sit in coverage for a long time. And somebody's bound to get open. You can't cover forever. I feel like Trevor Siemian will have some good production passing, but the defensive line is just going to keep pressure on him. And I feel like this secondary is going to come up with some interceptions, a forced fumble, some turnovers. Now, don't get me wrong. This game could be high upset alert. Like, if the Titans go in and underestimate the Saints, then this could be very well an upset. Because they did beat the Bucs, and the Bucs kind of wasn't prepared for that game, and the Saints upset them. So the Titans need to go in this like they've done every game since the Bills, and don't take their opponents lightly. But nonetheless, I feel like the Titans aren't going to underestimate the Saints. They do have a winning record. They did beat the Bucs. I feel like they're going to see that, and they're not going to underestimate them. I have the Titans winning this game 23-14. I feel like it's going to be a low-scoring game. It's going to be more of a defensive battle. But I feel like the difference is I feel like the Titans' defense is going to get some turnovers and help the offense get in good position to score, and they're going to come away with the win. So those are my thoughts on the Titans and Saints Week 10 matchup. Make sure to follow me on Twitter. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments section below. Give me some score predictions and some bold predictions. I had someone in my comments last week predicted the Titans were going to blow the Rams out, and they got it right. This has been Titans Universe signing out. Tighten up.